Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and I hope you're doing amazing. Again, I am back to discuss another topic, and today I am drawn to talk about the topic: what happens when you attach your self worth with an external identity. So, to give you a little bit of background, after having coached many people who have lost their jobs, who have had to leave a particular identity that they were holding on to and then moved into a different thing that they were passionate about but were unsure of, uh, I really feel that there is this strong need in all of us, whether we are aware or not, and in some cases it is low and in some cases it's high, the need to be attached to our identity, the external identity, and equating our self worth to that. And once that identity goes away, we just become hopeless. We feel worthless. We feel useless. And in most cases, if we can't really look into that, sometimes we also give up on life. Sometimes we give up on our dreams and aspirations, and sometimes we just run away from being seen that way. So the road to success while attaching our self worth to external identities, although it's very appealing, but it's very slippery. Once you just slip from that, everything falls apart. Now, you may argue with me, or you may have a different opinion and say that what's wrong in having holding on to a particular identity and then, finding our self worth in that. Well, there is nothing wrong or right here. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely okay if you're okay with it. But let's see what happens if you attach your self worth to the external identity. What is it that you miss out? What is it that you fail to experience? Something greater, something more wonderful, maybe. And I'm going to talk about that here today, not to profess something, whether it's right or wrong, or if this is the right way or that is the right way, but to just hold a truth, speak a truth, which I feel it's true for me, and it's up to you to accept it or not accept it, right? So, what happens basically when we attach our self worth to the external identity? And when I say this, let me give you an example. For instance, if you are attaching your importance or level of worthiness to the kind of role that you're holding, let's say in the organization or at your home or in the external world, in the society, and then suddenly, because of, let's say, life circumstances or whatever, you have to give away that role. In that case, do you lose that self-worth, or how do you feel? And we have been conditioned in this way, mostly in our childhood, to sort of attach our worth to a particular role, like you know um, uh, acquiring wealth or the job title. The higher it is, the more we are seen as important, we are seen as worthy, we are seen as more capable. And slowly we get into this vicious cycle of seeing others in that same light. And then we slowly tend to lose the capacity to really um, see the worth for the worth as it is. But then it is more of the attachment of our worth to that identity. And as and when that identity just goes away, the external identity goes away, we fail to see the worth. And then We do it for ourselves and also we do it for others. Unconsciously, consciously, being a part of the group, being a part of the herd, we tend to do that. What happens as a result of that is, first, you slowly tend to lose sight of who you are truly. You slowly tend to lose sight of what your gifts are because your entire focus and energy is put into maintaining that identity, because that is so dear to you, and you will go to any extent to maintain that, maybe at the cost of your health, maybe at the cost of your peace of mind, maybe at the cost of everything. Or in a stance, in a different, just opposite stance, you will just avoid that identity at all costs and not even look at it, right? So you will not get to explore the gifts that are truly yours, and as a result of which you are here in this world to manifest that gift. Like Pablo Picasso says, the meaning of life is to find our gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. And in a stance like this, where you're more inclined towards maintaining the stance of getting attached to your external identity, because to you that means self-worth, and without that identity, sans that identity you are nobody, then all your focus would be in maintaining that, retaining that, getting that, harnessing that, accumulating that. So you will be driven by fear basically, and then from that space you will operate, and as a result of which you'll be blinded and not be able to see your worth truly, and you will not be able to experience your own greatness in truest sense. And vice versa, you will not be able to see the greatness in others devoid of that worth. Maybe you will have a stance like this: oh, somebody's not working, so maybe they're not worthy of my time and energy, or maybe not worthy of knowing. Somebody is not as wealthy as you are, you may look down on them. Somebody is not as educated as you are, you may look down upon them. So the crux is, what if we see ourselves for who we are inside? What are the gifts that we have? What do we care about? What do we believe deeply in? What do we care about? What moves us? And what are we really good at? If we can find that theme, if we can get in touch with that, and then give that to the world, devoid of whether we have a stance like this, devoid of whether we are having a title or not, I think then we can really make a difference. And leadership, for instance, you don't need the title of a leader or to head something to really showcase your leadership trait. If you really care for people, if you really care for a cause, if you really are good at that, gifted in that, you will manifest it and show it. And you will not attach your self-worth to the external identities, but rather you'll be free from those shackles which holds you back and limits you from thinking broadly, limits you from seeing yourself broadly, and even seeing others' greatness in a stance like that. And don't you think, in when we start doing that, when we start owning ourselves completely and start seeing our greatness and also the greatness in others, this world will be a better place to live in, right? So I leave you here with this reflection. There's nothing wrong and right. It's just that speaking the truth and just living it that way. All right. Until next, take care. Bye bye.